Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So in this AFK journey video, we are going to talk about the best PvP team for Harak. And to be more specific, I'll be featuring two teams for Harak because one will be the more premium version and one is the more budget friendly option for most people to use. Okay, so starting off with the more budget friendly option, we have Harak together with Torrent as the frontliner, the damage sponge as well as the unit to deal with Harak counters. So Harak is a unit in general that is really powerful because he's able to steamroll as he gets more and more stats of this Ravenous Digestion ability right here. So not only is he going to hit harder with the boosted attack, he's also going to be tankier with the boosted HP as well, with the ability to recover HP as he assists or defeat a unit on the battlefield. So this is where he will start steamrolling and then win you the match if you're able to store enough for him to steamroll. Right at the very start, I think he's still vulnerable to being busted down. He's still vulnerable to being controlled heavily, so that's why you need units to protect him and buy him enough space. So Torrent is an amazing frontliner option because he's able to take some damage for Harak, and once Harak starts to build up, if you still have the link active, Harak's massive damage potential will be able to heal Torrent by a lot, forming a loop to soak up damage for Harak while getting healed up by Harak's massive damage output. So this is why we pair Torrent together with Harak. And on top of that, Torrent also has the resurrection skill, which allows him to come back to life. So this is good in two different ways. Number one, this skill is really good against some of Harak's best counters, right? So you use it to protect your Harak better, and you use it to sort of act as an additional body for your own Harak to devour in the event he falls out of his third skill. So there is this possibility that you don't finish your opponent within 12 seconds, and then you exit the feast mode and you need to eat one of your weakest ally. So Torrent usually will be soaking up a lot of damage and will be pretty low in HP, and he will be the primary target for the Devour itself. So this skill acts as a protection and also an additional food for your Harak to devour in case he doesn't kill fast enough, right? In case you don't kill anyone in time. Now on top of that, Harak is also an amazing Harak counter. Torrent is also an amazing Harak counter because in the event, if now you are spamming all your damage on Torrent as he's channeling his ultimate over here, the opponent Harak is not going to survive, right? So that's why we are running Torrent, one of the best tank in the game in the PvP side of things, and also one of the best partner with Harak right here. So the next few units will sort of change based on, I'll say, like the team setups itself, but let's talk about the support and sustains. So Hewin and Damien, omnipotent support and sustains, and they are still really good together with Harak because the ability to heal, the ability to provide for an haste buff for Harak so that he starts to steamroll a little bit faster is just so good that I think Hewin and Damien probably is the best partner for the sustain portion with Harak. Because when Hewin is activating her ultimate, you get additional damage regen, and as your Damien is there on the battlefield, Damien not only heals up Harak but also act as a Lily May bait, such that in the event if your opponent is running a Lily May, there is a possibility that the Lily May will jump to your Damien in the backline so that your Harak or your other units ultimate go through more easily. So for this slot, you can also run Coco together with Mikola. I think this works as well. So Mikola has the added arena benefit, and because both Torrent, Harak as well as Mikola, they will be running to the front line, depending on who you feature in the very last slot, you will have more than sufficient units in the arena to hold on to control, such that you get that massive attack buff on your whole team itself. On top of that, as Mikola is channeling her Courage Fear ability, she will be able to buff up both Torrent and Harak because most of them are going to be on the front line attacking the enemy. So this is one of the combos that Mikola can perform with Harak teams in general. So I'll say, depending on who you feature here, let's say if you are going on the offense, right, the very last unit can change based on the factional talent side. So if we are using the Maulers, what I would suggest to finish up the slot would be to use OD, because OD is really good with Harak being able to quickly kill off the enemy and steamroll together with Harak. This way you will get a 4+1 bonus over here to maximize your stat gain. And in the event, if you are, I'll say like more melee centric, you might also want to feature Shakir, which will give you that additional frontlining buff potential, anti-control 2, as well as additional protection from the Lupine Aura damage reduction, so that your Harak can survive better and carry harder. So this one will be subjected to who you face, will be subjected to the units available in your hero collection. Now, let's say if you were to choose Hewin and Damien, which I feel in general will be the better defensive setup, then obviously you can use powerful units like Iron or Lily May, which I think is also another pretty common unit. So Lily May has the added benefit to, I'll say, do more damage to the enemy, covers both the magical side and the physical side of things, so that you cover both damage spectrum and you don't get countered by physically immune units in general, right? So that's why Lily May is pretty good, and Lily May obviously counters Iron teams in general, giving you better leverage against control. And also, more importantly, both Lily May as well as Harak can steamroll really hard. So let's say if your Harak plan fails, you can fall on your Lily May to hyper carry you in those situations. So that's why I feel that this is a lot better. This is a lot more comprehensive in terms of coverage, and this would probably be the more recommended version, even though you can use the Mauler version I recommended earlier. So this is the budget option. Now let's go into the offensive side to showcase the battle. Okay, so right here I have to switch to another account because I realized that I exhausted all my attempts on my own account. So right here we are on another account with Harak, and let's showcase the Harak teen potential. Okay, so against the opponent right here, let's go with this one. Put Damien at the back. I put Damien at the back because I want Damien to be the bait. We want to put Lily May here. Is Lily May a good option here? That's the question, right? Could Skalita be a better option? So the very last slot is, I'll say, like free and easy. You can use Skalita. I think even Talon is fine as well, but I think I'll use Lily May as recommended by me earlier. So let's go. So we go at one time. So you guys can see right here, I think at the base form, Harak is still relatively susceptible. Like, he's only invincible once he starts to steamroll. But right here, not fast enough, so we have to eat our own torrent to survive better. Okay, Hewin comes online to provide for that additional support on the Harak so that he doesn't get bursted, and then Harak uses the ultimate on the enemy's Hewin to prevent her from healing. Okay, after we are done with the ultimate, the opponent Hewin is still not able to heal, and we burst her down, so the opponent loses one support there. Okay, Harak dives to the Feresto, becomes bigger right here, as you guys can see, becomes purple in color. Massive. Still can be controlled by Skalita, but because we did a lot more damage, we burst down the Skalita and did the hyper carrying with Harak right here. Okay, so this is the damage distribution, running a dual carry. Another team which I think Harak doesn't... Okay, so this is one thing I realized as well, is Harak against Dino teams in general is not exactly the best, okay? Not exactly the best. So this is another team idea which I want to talk about later, but we're going to showcase this and talk about the team idea here. Yeah. I think Harak with... Okay, for this one, I think we probably want to use Skalita instead of Hewin, because I think the burst from Lily May as well as Dano is going to bring us down. So we use defensive units instead. Okay, so we go with Enlightening spell on Harak, and let's start the battle. Okay, so this way the Dahlia is going to shut us down in terms of our skills. Damien comes online, providing a bunch of heals for the team. Still silence, by the way. He cancels. Lily May cancels the Torrent ultimate. Unfortunately, our Harak actually went for our Lily May instead of Torrent. Okay, but because Skalita was able to shield up the allies long enough, I think we bought enough time for Harak to steamroll again. So I think we should be able to win this fight, as you guys can see right here. Okay, so if the battle lasts long enough, in most cases, Harak will be a mega carry because he will be able to build up steam and then he will just dive around like a madman, like I mentioned multiple times. So this is the more budget-friendly option. Next, let's talk about the more premium option with more Celestial Hypogean in the mix itself. And this is what I'll say is the more premium version because as you guys can see right here, we are running a whole bunch of Celestial Hypogean characters. So this is just, I'll say, like for those of you guys who have the resources and the units, okay? So this is what we call the 4 gods and Celestial strats. Because initially I wanted to include Reina into the team, but Reina, I'll say, is subjective to the map as well as your opponent. So you want to buff up Harak with Reina, right? So that is why if you're running Reina, what you want to do is somewhere here, but Reina's not that good on a defense. So let's say if you are using this team on the defensive side, then you probably want to use Damien instead. So Damien provides for the heal as well as the haste to let your Harak steamroll faster, as well as provide for the sustain for the team. Then for the tank, we are using Fresto, so the main Fresto in front of Harak to give the energy regen for Harak to spam the ultimate. There will be certain situations where you want to put the illusion Fresto in front of Harak to allow him to survive better. So it will depend on your opponent's matchup, depends on who your opponent pick against you, as well as obviously who attacks you and what units they have in the arena side of things. Okay, so for the next unit, Danlia. So Danlia in general is just really good for a single hyper carry team. Similar to Dino, you just keep the Clemency Charm on Harak, so he's the only one that can spam the ultimate, and then right, you just prevent the enemy from spamming the ultimate, which reduces most of the control teams, most of the control ultimates in general. So Danlia goes well with the hyper carry team, and Harak is a good hyper carry. And then for the very last slot, we run Skalita. So Skalita just really versatile, shield, protection, and then come down to be the secondary carry itself. Okay, so this is the team option. But do take note, if you're using Danlia in a team, you need to take note of where the ring is falling. So positioning do matter. I usually like to run the team in this map because of the positioning, covering, I'll say, like a more comprehensive counter teams against the other arena comps out there. So this is the map that I choose for this one. Now let's move on to some battle showcase. See whether or not we can actually find inverse again. Okay, we do against this guy once again. So this is against the defensive comps. So we're gonna put Fresto. I think in this case I might want Fresto. Okay, I might want Harak to be behind the damage reduction, and then we use Reina because I think Reina does work here. So Reina here, then Danlia here, and then we put a Skalita. Okay, so this way the Skalita will be able to shield Reina's damage reduction. Harak will keep him alive for a little bit longer, and then we use Confining Spell. Yeah, because Enlightening is a little bit hard to use in this positioning. So let's start. Okay, so go ahead one time. So the opponent's not able to use their skill. So in this situation, the opponent not being able to use their skill is not that massive because they don't have irons or they don't have units that relies too much on their ultimate. Okay, the Lily May did cancel my Harak's ultimate there. Okay, I think Harak's gonna devour someone. Okay, Reina is a good target. Danlia casts the ultimate to get the bell online, preventing any sort of ultimate from the opponent's side. Unfortunately, the opponent's Lily May got the ultimate off. So the opponent Lily May might... Oh yeah, okay. So cancelled out my Fresto's illusion. My Skydive comes down. Okay, my Harak is getting stun locked over here by the Damien. But it's fine. He survived long enough to become this Mega Shark. And then he will be able to carry from here. Yeah, so this match is just the Celestial Hypogean powers in general. Okay, so this is the damage output. Okay, Skydive did a lot of work, but yeah, this is a very stats heavy team, right? So next, let's showcase against Inverse. I mean, we can do tank as well, but tank is pretty much running the same team. Same team as well. Okay, most of them are running against the same team, so we're gonna skip this one. Let's pick another fight. Think inverse against the Dino teams in general. Oh wait, Soup is running a Tarsi. We can take on the Tarsi team. Yeah, there's no take on a Tarsi team. No, Tarsi is a lot weaker. By the way, recently I think people realized that maybe Arena V Special is not exactly the best map. I have seen people slowly shift back because of, okay, Inverse is here, so let's take on, okay, Dan and Dino team against Dan and Harak team. So I don't know whether or not this matchup is in our favor, but I think it should be quite okay if we are going on the offense. Yeah, so right here, let's see. No, if we put it here, then the Harak will be the swap target, right? So let's go with this one. Let's go with this positioning. The one damage regen on I think I will give defense reduction. Yeah, damage reduction on Harak because I don't want to be busted down by both Dino and Lily May here. So we go with confining so we can control them once their lightning is over. Okay, so both of us have our ultimate shutdown. Okay, Harak is going to steamroll. Okay, we managed to kill someone really quickly, so he gets additional stats. Really nice stuff. So the moment Harak becomes bigger and bigger, it means that he's starting to get stats. And then once he reaches the purple form, he will be the hyper carry. Okay. Dazzling DPS right here. Okay, so this is the 6 god or 5 god shred. Technically 6 because Fresto is 2 units, so 6 units on the battlefield shred. So thank you very much for tuning in. These are the best PvP team for Harak right now in terms of general versatility. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.